Welcome to another video. Today we'll be discussing President Julius Maada, the President of Sierra Leone's recent events. As you can see, it states here while regional observers like the African Union and ECOWAS declare the election free and fair, other Western observers have stressed that the counting and the process lack transparency. The European Union, the UK, US, and France in particular have pressured the Electoral Commission to display results from each polling station. Okay, I just showed you this to back up my claim for this whole video that the Western nations did not want President Bio to be in power. I've seen a video of him stating, you know, these nations do not want peace for African countries. They do not want peace in my country. I just wanted to show you this from the AP News. President Bio became victorious in his re-election and now we see him traveling to meet President and Commander-in-Chief Ibrahim Traoré. And he recently just gave a speech in the United Nations calling for African countries to hold permanent members' positions in the UN. And you know, the sooner the locals understand that this is where the fight should be taken, and not so much on your leader, because they are pretty much handicapped. There's so much they can do. Okay, there's nothing your African president can do about the high cost of living. There's nothing he can do about gas prices going up. But you as a citizen, there's everything you can do. Why don't we farm so we don't have to import so much? Take over the agriculture, everybody can be a farmer. Grow your own crops, things like that. You can provide services you see the country needs. That's an opportunity for business. We have to stop relying so much on governments. We have to stop relying so much on the government and take matters into our own hands, in a positive way, obviously in a positive way. We need peace in our countries. We need peace, justice, and independence for our children. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more video like this. Thank you. Let's continue. Today we'll be discussing President Julius Maada, the President of Sierra Leone's recent visit to Burkina Faso to meet President and Commander-in-Chief Ibrahim Traoré. But let me give you guys a quick update on recent events that Maada was involved in, kind of his perspective. As a Pan-Africanist, we should understand the current situation of these presidents and the opinions their citizens who live under their rule. In a lot of cases, I believe we tend to run with presidents or leaders from Africa that side with the Pan-Africanist ideology. But sometimes those leaders have somewhat of a negative approval rating within their own country. I'm highlighting this article as one of my main sources, the AP News, to kind of back my claim here. Of what I'm going to say later during this video. President Julius Maada is somebody that was not supposed to win his re-election. His opposition Samura Kamara of the APC party had traveled overseas, particularly to the USA on March 2023. Samura Kamara of the APC party came overseas to campaign against President Julius Maada during the election. I always raise my eyebrows when things like this happen because as a Pan-African we have to question why do Samura Kamara of the APC party need to travel overseas to raise money to campaign in Africa. We understand this is how our leaders tend to get into agreements that are not going to benefit the African people. This is how they get themselves tied up with these strings-attached deals rather than focusing on local support. The problem is such leaders who participate in such deals tend to win, and when they claim power they have to fulfill those deals. So President Maada of Sierra Leone was strong enough and tough enough to maintain power, even though the Western nations were not in his favor this time around. That should tell you a lot about President Maada. You know, President Maada is a former military leader. He also had led a coup in Sierra Leone, overthrowing the government, and Maada was also involved in bringing Fode Sanko the warlord into justice. Fode Sanko was the head of the rebel groups in the event of the Sierra Leone Civil War. Maada played multiple roles within his career, let's say. I do give him this. I think he understands what he needs to do. I think he understands who he has to break free from. I think he understands where the main fight is, where the main battle is. And from a Pan-African perspective, I believe the Pan-African perspective, I think we are all on the same page when it comes to understanding where the fight is, where we gotta take the fight. I believe the local people, specifically within Sierra Leone, don't understand where the real fight is. They are more concerned about the everyday crisis, the economic crisis, inflation, high living cost, high food cost, all the immediate impacts. Transportation is going up, gas is going up, this is where their focus is, trying to improve those day-to-day basic needs, right? But they don't understand the bigger battle President Maada Bio is actually combating, the battles he is combating in the shadows. You know, some of these things you can't talk about in public or in light as a leader. You risk making your job harder and could possibly bring more pain to your people. And President Maada Bio is very diplomatic. Okay, Maada Bio is also president of the UN Security Council during August 2024. The point I'm trying to make is President Maada Bio understand the real battle. While the citizens are fighting for their daily basic needs. I believe President Maada Bio understands where he has to take the fight, in terms of what is going to bring his people and the African people true freedom, independence, and prosperity in the long run. Not having to be dependent on international economies or what is going on in Ukraine should not be affecting our countries, we have to dampen these effects. Whatever is going on in other parts of the world, especially the West, should not be affecting Africa as much as it does currently. That's what independent is, okay? If we stay dependent, whatever mistakes they make, we have no control of the decisions they make, so their mistakes are always going to continue to affect us. The African people should not have to suffer because another nation decide to go to war, right? And obviously the freedom of colonialism and freedom of neocolonialism. All of those things are where the real fight is. But the people are currently fighting their leader, they're currently fighting their president for their daily basic needs. They are more focused on the day-to-day, the everyday needs in terms of food, transportation, inflation. They're screaming and hollering at the president to fix those things, but he can't. We don't have the ability to fix those things because we are dependent. We are still dependent on foreigners. We are still dependent on external nations. That's the main issue, until we all understand, until the leaders are able to explain to the people, and until the people understand where the real fight is. And when it comes to electing the proper people. Don't elect people that run overseas to campaign, they'll most likely sell you out. When it comes to election, elect the person that is ready to fight for your freedom. I want to show you guys the proof President Maada Bio really understands where to take the fight. Like I've told you, he was not supposed to win his re-election. They did not want him, the West. President Maada Bio is willing to work with their competitors, Russia and China. President Maada Bio works with whoever gives him the best contracts. They did not want President Bio for whatever reason. Maybe he is not listening to them, right? Maybe President Bio is not willing to serve them. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment to continue the conversation.
Thank you. Yago Obama. If we can have now, Yago and Yamu, okay?